The 2025 SCO Summit is set to begin in Tianjin, China, the largest in its history, with over 20 leaders gathering to address security, counter-terrorism, trade, energy, digital cooperation, and food security concerns. The agenda also includes cyber defense, artificial intelligence, and formalizing Belarus's membership. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived in Tianjin for the summit, set for the 31st of August until the 1st of September. Chinese President Xi Jinping has already met with Myanmar's Min Aung Hlaing, Nepal's Prime Minister KP Oli Sharma, and Kazakhstan's Kassym Jomart Tokayev in the host city. Maldivian President Mohamed Muizzu has also reached Beijing ahead of the talks. Leaders present include Xi Jinping, Narendra Modi, Russia's Vladimir Putin, Turkey's Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Iran's Masoud Pezeshkian, Indonesia's Subianto, Malaysia's Ibrahim, Vietnam's Chin, and Pakistan's Shehbaz Sharif, Nepal's KP Oli Sharma, Maldives' Mohamed Muizzu, and Myanmar's military chief Min Aung Hlaing. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres will also be in attendance. Marking the 25th anniversary of the SCO, the summit comes amid sharp global conflicts and internal rifts, with leaders aiming to use the platform to bolster energy cooperation, regional security, and digital defenses, positioning the SCO as a counterweight to Western blocs like NATO. Joining me on the broadcast is my colleague Megha Sharma, who is in Tianjin, China, bringing us exclusive insights from the summit. Megha, let me come across to you quickly. What's the latest that you're picking up from the ground?
All right now we are getting to know that Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he was en route from Tokyo to Tianjin. He has already arrived over here just a few moments ago. Now he is on his way to the hotel where he would be spending the night. In fact, the next 2 days when the summit takes place. I'm exactly where the Prime Minister is scheduled to arrive. This place is called Wanda Vista Hotel, and this is in the heart of Tianjin. And we are at this point of time eagerly awaiting the Prime Minister's arrival. We are also at this point of time witnessing a large number of people from the Indian community who are present over here, eagerly awaiting to get hold of the Prime Minister, even for a moment, or just to get a glimpse of him. But on the larger scale, a large number of these leaders, many of them have already descended on Tianjin. You already mentioned about how there is the Pakistani Prime Minister, we have the Iranian President, we also have President Putin of Russia. They all, and of course Central Asian countries as well, whose heads of states have finally arrived in Tianjin for the 2-day summit. The summit begins tomorrow, but before that, the actual summit is actually going to begin tomorrow evening local time, Beijing time. But in the morning, there are going to be bilaterals that have been lined up between President Xi Jinping and other leaders of the countries that are participating or are of the observer status of the SCO Summit 2025, which includes Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This bilateral is supposed to happen in the morning tomorrow at 10 a.m. Beijing time. After that, there are a number of bilaterals. There is one bilateral that is going to happen between Xi Jinping and the President of Russia as well, Vladimir Putin. Alongside that, there is likelihood that the Prime Minister of India, who has allocated a slot of about 2.5 hours to have a meet and greet or informal talks or even bilaterals with other leaders that India may be interested in talking to, which includes, in all likelihood, sources, if sources are to be believed, Myanmar. The head of state of Myanmar is going to also be meeting the Prime Minister and holding that short talk with him on the sidelines of this summit.
Okay, Megha, it's taking place at a very interesting time globally. Russia is currently engaged in a war with Ukraine that America is trying to stop at this point in time. There's also been a recent conflict between India and Pakistan, and leaders of all of these countries have now gathered in China, which is at this point in time one of the main adversaries of the United States of America. Basis that, what is it that you're picking up from the ground? What are going to be some of the most critical discussions that will be taking place in some of these bilateral meetings as well as the larger SCO summit this year?
Yes, this is in fact the SEO summit was founded in 2001. It is 2025 now, and it has been a long, fruitful, laborious journey of 25 years that this forum has taken forward. And as you mentioned already, you were speaking about the agenda of the SEO Summit 2025 is security. When you talk about trade, energy, we're talking about green transition, we're talking about regional cooperation, regional security. So these are the issues that are going to be the focus of this multilateral summit, multilateral forum. But of course, what has overshadowed this SEO summit is the US tariffs that have been imposed on a number of countries, including those countries who are also member states, members of the SEO summit, which includes India. We talk about Iran, we talk about Russia, of course, which has been heavily sanctioned by a number of European countries because of the Ukraine war. China itself is, under the scrutiny of the United States of America. There was at one point of time, just not too far long ago, that United States had threatened to impose tariffs up to the tune of 250% on Chinese goods. But China has perhaps been one of the fewer nations to say who have been able to stand steadfast against these bullying tactics of the American administration of US President Donald Trump. So, the silver lining here is that a number of these nations who are also participating in the SEO summit are looking at building mutual interests with regards to trade, with regards to bilateral relations, with regards to people-to-people connect as well. And as far as trade goes, India has been very open to the proposal, and vice versa, when it comes to increasing trade, opening up markets, and allowing for economic ties to further burgeon between India and China. And in fact, this was indicated even by the Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi when he arrived in India 2 weeks ago. He met the Foreign Minister, he met National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, he also met Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and he underlined this fact, saying that India and China are not rivals. India and China are actually natural partners. And there was also mention about how there are these three goods that are required by India, whose export had been halted by China after the Galwan skirmish back in 2020. These three goods include number 1, fertilizers, number 2, rare earth minerals, and number 3, boring machines. And if any talks are indicative of how things are going to play out between India and China, these 3 exports are going to resume from China to India. It is going to be a win-win situation, and for China particularly, because India is once again, which had closed down markets during the Galwan clash, is now going to very soon open up its markets, which means China, which has a massive supply of goods, is going to send over its excess goods into India, which from where it will be getting the steady demand. Something similar is also going to be witnessed between Russia and India. We already know that Russia is a strategic, important defense partner for India. Russia has been providing India with crude oil requirements, and this is going to continue to happen. There was, in fact, just a week ago, there was a press conference that had been held by the Deputy Chief of Mission of Russia in India, and he said that there is at this point of time negotiations being held if there can be a further 5% discount that can be provided to India to buy its energy security needs from Russia.
All right.